So Sonic Frontiers Update 3 is right around the corner, and this is truly going to be an epic update for Sonic Frontiers. As I previously stated, it will indeed change everything for the better. And we all truly can't wait for that next update soon in the coming weeks for that new story, as well as the playable characters, and of course, the new Supersonic form that we've wanted since the game was getting its trailers around this time a year ago. And these updates have truly done wonder to Sonic Frontiers, making the game overall just a better experience. But one other thing about Frontiers updates throughout the year is they've added many quality of life changes to the game, such as the ability to turn off the Starfall Island slot machine, or even turning off the power boost cutscene every time you get the max amount of rings. Or there is the best one, and that is being able to turn off the dramatic camera shots of the combat. They are literally adding what would normally be a mod to any other Sonic game, but they're adding these as options now. You get the idea. These little quality of life changes they add to Frontiers throughout these updates just makes the game overall better. And this update upcoming likely being no exception as well to having its own quality of life updates. So in today's video, I want to give 5 things that I personally think are needed for the Frontiers Update 3, The Final Horizon. Please note this before we begin. I am aware Sonicsta already did a video on this topic, but I have some things that I want to give as well. Some things are similar to what he gave, and some things are different. Also, I know what I request may not happen at all, but I still want to give my wish list. Alright, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into it. Here's 5 things that are needed for Sonic Frontiers Update 3, The Final Horizon. So the first thing that we have up for the list today is the ability to switch from day to night. This is something that has been requested since the game launched, but I'm bringing it up again. The day and night cycle in Sonic Frontiers is already really cool, don't get me wrong, I love it. The whole natural part of it is really awesome. You're running around the island as the day goes by, that's awesome. I love that day and night cycle bit of Sonic Frontiers. But at the same time, there are moments where we wish we could set it to whenever we want. And what makes us want to do that is specifically these puzzles right here. These puzzles that can only be completed at night. And see, that's kind of where some tedious parts come in on Sonic Frontiers playthroughs. While on paper that sounds like a great idea, having puzzles that can be completed at night, but how it turned out was kinda tedious. There would be times when I played through Sonic Frontiers and I'd play the game and it would be the crack of dawn in the game and I'd stumble upon a puzzle that could only be completed at night. Thus, I had to resort to 2 things. A, I sit there and wait, or B, I wander around the island and then completely forget where that puzzle was. It's a tad bit annoying, can't you see? So I really do hope that one of the quality of life changes for Update 3 will include an ability for us to have a mode where Sonic can like rest or wait till night or something. Something along those lines would work just fine. The chances of us getting this though isn't very high. If we hadn't gotten one by now since the first update, we are likely not going to get one anytime soon. But I still think that this is something that would just make Sonic Frontiers playthroughs a more better time. But hey, this is maybe something they can implement in the sequel. The next thing that is a necessary need for this, and this is something we've also requested since day one, and that is an ability to replay the Titans in the game. Yes, I am fully aware we have Boss Rush now. Here's the thing. I don't want to have to play through every other enemy from that island just so I can get to the Titan again. While yes, on PC, we have mods to where we can easily go and select which boss fight we want to play thanks to the save slots. But here's the problem with that mod. That mod, it saves slots straight to where the boss fight starts, and Sonic's stats are all maxed out for some reason. So thus, if we had an official way to replay the Titan boss fights, like via in-game mode, that would be awesome. And here's what they could do for it. They would have to like make a brand new mode for it. What if the area where you fought the Titan on the map, you can have like an option to do it again to where you select the menu, and I'm going to take a little bit of inspiration from Sonicsta's video here, but the area where you fought the Titan on the map, what if you could go up to that area and there's like a little light there and you can go up to it and press X or something and it'll say something like, would you like to relive the experience, or something along those lines. You get what I'm saying? If they did this, this would be really amazing, because these Titan boss fights are awesome and forever will be iconic to the Sonic franchise, and the only way you can play them again is through via Boss Rush or playing through the game again. And I don't want to do that. And throughout every modern Sonic game, you can always replay the boss whenever you want. So in this, we gotta have a way to replay these epic boss fights that solo anything from the 2010s. So Sonic Team, please, give us a way to replay the Titan boss fights in some way. So another thing that is very necessary for Update 3, and that is please allow the jukebox to be playable whenever we want. The jukebox being added to Sonic Frontiers was a genius move from Sonic Team. You're telling me that if I run around the Starfall Islands and collect these music notes, I get to listen to Sonic music from previous games while running around in these open zone areas? Well, sign me right the heck up, Sonic Team. Let's go, boys. It is time to grind. And with Update 1, we got all kinds of music from previous Sonic games scattered through the Starfall Islands, and with music that fits the atmosphere very well, like Kingdom Valley for Kronos Island, or Dusty Desert for Ares Island, or even Misty Lake for that one section of Rhea Island. This couldn't have been a better spot for it. And so many other great music choices as well in this Update 1. And even with Update 2, they fulfilled our wishes and gave us more music from the Sonic Frontiers soundtrack to put in the jukebox. So now we can listen to the epic Oranos Island theme on Oranos Island when it doesn't play anymore. But the one problem with the jukebox right now is that it's only playable in the open zone gameplay. Not the bosses and not cyberspace, just the open zone. Now at first you might think, well, who needs the jukebox and the bosses? We got that epic music playing. You're right. You're right. But here's the thing. If we're gonna have Night of the Wind in here, why can't I play it while I fight Night? Or even in cyberspace. While the music in cyberspace is good, all I would like to do is play some of the tunes from the jukebox in there just for funsies. Especially now that we can turn off that annoying boost filter in cyberspace. So this is something I really request. Please, Sonic Team, let us have the ability to play the jukebox whenever we want with Sonic Frontiers. This is something that would just make a jukebox more worthwhile. Alrighty, the next thing up on the list is a massive need for this, and that is for the other playable characters being Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, give them cosmetics as well. Sonic and Frontiers had a good amount of cosmetics in the game. We got the soap shoes, we got the Monster Hunter DLC, we got the Santa Claus costume, and even an Update 2 for Sonic's birthday. If you get all the new Coco that comes with the update, you get a crown. What? As well as Sonic gets a special birthday outfit thing. Not sure what this is, but it looks nice. So with Sonic getting some nice cosmetics, it would only make sense if everyone else who was joining the party gets some here too. Here are a few examples of what they can do. For Knuckles, they can give him the hat he wore in the OVA. And for Tails, the get up from Boom? Jeez, this fox really doesn't have any other previous cosmetics, does he? I actually looked. He doesn't have anything now that I think about it. And for Amy, they could throw in her classic outfit as a good old-fashioned callback. I mean, it would make sense because classic Amy has made quite the comeback this year. She was playable in Sonic Origins Plus, and now she's going to be playable in Superstars, so why not? I just want to see some cosmetics for the other characters. There is a possibility for it, but hopefully these characters will have some cosmetics. I really hope they will. Or heck, maybe we can already throw the ones that we already have on in the game on them. Who knows? But I really hope the characters have their own cosmetics, just like how Sonic had the soap shoes. I really hope they give them some good cosmetics. Alrighty, the last one up for today is a big one. And this is something we've wanted since November when the game launched. And that is a playable Supersonic. Ever since Supersonic made his big comeback in Sonic Frontiers, we were hoping that at the end of the game, maybe we get to explore the world with him. Well, at least we have mods. But now, after 2 updates, there is still no playable Supersonic. Even after adding a new game plus to the game, which would have probably made sense to have Supersonic to when you can unlock him via that, still no playable Supersonic. And now we're getting another freaking super form in this next update. Come on, Sonic Team, let us have Supersonic, please. Just let us have the ability to gain 50 rings, and then we jump up and press a certain button, I don't know, Y or something, and bam, we can play as Supersonic. Heck, it can be done the way Colors did it, to where you can turn it off entirely via in-game settings if you don't want it. This would be so awesome and can have so much potential for gameplay. I mean, think about it. Flying around the islands as Supersonic officially and not with a mod? Imagine that. Heck, there's already mods out there, I think, where this has already been perfected. Just imagine. A playable Supersonic would be the perfect cherry on top for this game. In the previous decade of Sonic, he was playable in every game, and he wasn't even in the story half the time. So come on, Sonic Team, please, let us have a playable Supersonic in Sonic Frontiers, and especially now that we're getting another super form. Heck, let us play as both. I don't know, I might be stretching it there. And with that, these are some of the things I think are indeed needed for the final update for Sonic Frontiers. All the things I gave for today are very unlikely. Who knows though, we could get one of these as a surprise, much like some features that were in the previous updates. Overall, these Sonic Frontiers updates have truly done justice to the game. Justice that it needed, and these have truly made the game better and added so much better content and more ways to play with these updates, and I really gotta thank Sonic Team for these. They could have just left Sonic Frontiers the way it was last year, with all the good positive reviews it got of saying this is a good 3D Sonic game since Sonic Generations. They could have just left it at that, but no. They took the time to make the game even better than it already was. And for that, you have my applause, Sonic Team. And this really gives me hope for the future of Sonic games with how Sonic Team now knowing what we want for Sonic games. But until then, all we can do now is sit back and wait as we approach that final update that Kishimoto has been cooking for us all year. And now, let us all get excited for what awaits us very soon. And then about a week later, we'll start to speculate when Frontiers 2 will be, and if the adventure remakes are indeed happening.